You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's an old saying. It's simple, it makes sense, and it's completely wrong when it comes to your brain. See, your brain isn't a horse. It's more like a hyperactive toddler standing next to a massive, roaring water slide. And right now, that slide is full of pure liquid dopamine. You see a notification blink, you click it, you get a tiny splash. It feels good for a second, but then it's gone. So you climb back up to the top of the slide, you do it again and again, until you've spent 4 hours scrolling through videos of people you don't even like, wondering where your afternoon went. Then you look at the textbook, or the laptop, or the empty gym bag on your floor. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You say you're just lazy. But what if that's a lie? What if your problem isn't a lack of willpower at all, but something much more mechanical? Think about the last time you actually tried to sit down and do something deep. Maybe it was studying, writing, or just reading a book. How long did it take before your hand automatically reached for your phone? 2 minutes? 30 seconds? It's an uncomfortable question, but be honest with yourself. Why is it that you can easily digest a 2-hour documentary about a fake crime, but looking at a single page of text feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops? To understand why, we have to look at how your brain handles pleasure. Imagine your dopamine receptors are like tiny cups inside your head. Under normal conditions, everyday activities like eating an apple or going for a quick walk fill those cups up just a little bit. It's a gentle trickle. It gives you just enough satisfaction to keep you moving forward. But modern technology didn't bring a trickle. It brought a fire hose. When you open an app that's engineered to give you a new, shocking, or funny stimulus every 3 seconds, it pours massive buckets of dopamine into your system all at once. Your tiny cups don't just fill up, they overflow. They flood the entire floor. And when your brain gets flooded like that repeatedly, it does something very smart to protect itself. It shrinks the cups. It caps them off so less liquid can get inside. This is what scientists call downregulation. But in the real world, it means something much worse for your daily life. It means that the things that used to give you a normal amount of satisfaction, like finishing a project, cleaning your room, or having a quiet conversation, now feel completely numb. They don't even touch the sides of the cup anymore. I'm not telling you this from some high and mighty position of perfect discipline. I've been there. I've sat at my desk with 5 different tabs open, switching between them like a manic day trader, achieving absolutely nothing while my chest felt tight with anxiety. I felt like a passenger in my own body, watching myself waste days of my life while a tiny voice in my head screamed at me to just stand up and do something. It's a miserable loop. And the worst part is, the internet tells you the solution is just to watch more motivational videos. But motivation is just another splash from the water slide. It wears off the moment you close the app. So how do you actually fix a machine that's been flooded? You don't do it by pushing harder. You do it by draining the system. You have to let the cups reset to their normal size, and that requires doing something that modern culture treats like an absolute sin. You have to allow yourself to be completely, utterly bored. Think of your mind like a crowded, noisy coffee shop. If 20 people are screaming at the top of their lungs, you can't hear a single word the person next to you is saying. You need everyone to be quiet before you can actually focus on the conversation. In your brain, those screaming people are the notifications, the short videos, and the constant digital noise. Staring at a blank wall for 10 minutes without looking at a screen isn't a waste of time. It's the sound of everyone finally leaving the coffee shop. When you remove the artificial fire hose of stimulation, something interesting happens. Your brain slowly realizes that the massive flood isn't coming back. It begins to uncap the receptors. It opens the cups back up. Suddenly, a simple task like writing an essay or reading a chapter doesn't feel like physical torture anymore. It feels engaging again because your brain is finally capable of tasting smaller drops of satisfaction.
The world isn't going to stop trying to hijack your attention. The algorithms are only going to get smarter, faster, and more aggressive. They want your cups permanently flooded because that's how they make their money. But you are the one holding the device. You are the one who decides whether to jump back onto the water slide or to step away and let the water clear.
So let's try a small experiment right now. When this video ends, don't immediately scroll down to the comments. Don't click the next recommended thumbnail. Just lock your screen, set your phone face down on the table, and sit there with your own thoughts for exactly 2 minutes. It will feel uncomfortable. Your hand will twitch. Your brain will beg for a splash of liquid dopamine. But if you can survive those 2 minutes of pure boredom, you'll realize something incredibly powerful. You aren't lazy. You never were. You just needed to let the system drain.